Last week, I was abruptly woken from a deep, peaceful sleep by a sensation I can only describe as sheer panic. My husband, who had been sleeping soundly beside me just moments before, suddenly shook me awake. His voice was trembling, his words a jumble of incoherence that I could barely make out, but it was his face that terrified me the most. His complexion was pale, almost ghostly, and his forehead glistened with sweat. He clutched his chest tightly, his breaths coming in shallow gasps, and I could tell immediately that something was gravely wrong. I sprang out of bed, heart racing with fear and adrenaline, and immediately dialed 911. My hands were trembling so badly that I struggled to hit the right buttons on my phone. I remember yelling into the receiver, trying to stay calm but barely succeeding. The dispatcher's voice was calm, steady, and reassuring, but I could hardly focus on her words. All I could think about was my husband, the man who had been my rock, my partner, my everything for decades, and the fear that I might lose him that night. When the paramedics arrived, everything seemed to move in a blur. They assessed him quickly and determined that he needed to be rushed to the hospital immediately. The ambulance ride felt like an eternity, even though it couldn't have been more than 10 minutes. I sat in the back, clutching his hand, watching as the paramedics worked diligently to stabilize him. Their faces were masks of professionalism, but I could see the concern in their eyes. By the time we arrived at the hospital, a medical team was already waiting. They wheeled him into the emergency room, leaving me behind to pace the waiting area, my mind racing with 1,000 questions and fears. Was he going to be okay? Could I have done something to prevent this? How would I cope if the worst happened? I prayed fervently, my hands clasped so tightly that my knuckles turned white. Then the doctor came out, and his face told me everything before he even spoke. "I'm so sorry," he said gently, "but he didn't make it." Those words shattered my world. My husband, 71 years old and seemingly healthy, had passed away from a sudden heart attack caused by acute myocardial infarction. Just hours earlier we had been laughing together, sharing a quiet dinner, and now he was gone. The hidden danger of heart attacks. Why do they strike at night? In the days that followed, as I grappled with my grief and tried to make sense of what had happened, I found myself plagued by questions. How could a man who seemed so full of life and energy succumb so suddenly? What had caused this catastrophic event? The doctor explained that his lifestyle choices, particularly his love for late-night snacks, might have played a role. That evening, he had indulged in his usual routine, a hearty barbecue dinner paired with a cold beer, before heading to bed. But why do heart attacks, also known as myocardial infarctions, often occur at night? This question haunted me, and I began to research obsessively. I discovered some startling truths that I believe everyone should know. 1. The mechanism of a heart attack. A heart attack occurs when the coronary arteries, which supply blood to the heart muscle, become blocked. This blockage is usually caused by a buildup of fatty deposits, plaques, on the artery walls, a condition known as atherosclerosis. Over time, these plaques can rupture, leading to the formation of blood clots that obstruct blood flow. When the heart muscle is deprived of oxygen-rich blood, it begins to die, resulting in a heart attack. What struck me most was the realization that this process often takes years to develop. It's not something that happens overnight, but rather the result of long-term lifestyle habits, poor diet, lack of exercise, smoking, excessive alcohol consumption, and unchecked stress. 2. Why nighttime is particularly risky. Heart attacks tend to strike during the early morning hours, a phenomenon that has been extensively studied by medical researchers. Several factors contribute to this. Late-night eating. Consuming large, high-fat meals late at night forces the body to work overtime to digest food. Blood flow is diverted to the stomach and intestines, reducing the supply to the heart. In my husband's case, his routine of indulging in barbecue and beer late at night may have been a significant factor. Slower blood circulation. During sleep, blood flow naturally slows down. This is particularly dangerous for individuals with thick or sticky blood, as it increases the likelihood of clots forming. Sympathetic nervous system activity. While the body rests, the sympathetic nervous system, responsible for the fight or flight response, remains active. This can cause blood vessels to constrict, increasing the risk of heart attacks in those with pre-existing artery plaques. Warning signs to watch for. One of the most heartbreaking aspects of my husband's death was the realization that there might have been warning signs we overlooked. Heart attacks often present subtle symptoms days or even weeks before they occur. Recognizing these signs can save lives. 1. Chest discomfort. A sensation of pressure, tightness, or dull pain in the chest is one of the most common warning signs. It may come and go, often mistaken for indigestion or muscle strain. 2. Pain in upper body. Discomfort may radiate to the shoulders, arms, especially the left, neck, jaw, or back. These sensations are often dismissed as unrelated aches. 3. Shortness of breath. Difficulty breathing, even without exertion, can be a red flag. This symptom often worsens when lying down. 4. Digestive upset. Nausea, heartburn, or vomiting can mimic gastrointestinal issues but may actually signal heart trouble. 5. Fatigue or weakness. Sudden, unexplained exhaustion is a common precursor to heart attacks, particularly in women. 6. Sweating, dizziness, and palpitations. Feeling clammy, lightheaded, or experiencing rapid heartbeats can indicate an impending heart attack. What you can do to protect yourself. As I processed my grief, I found solace in learning ways to protect myself and others from the same fate. Prevention is the best approach to reducing the risk of heart attacks, especially at night. Here are some habits to avoid. 1. Staying up late. Adequate sleep is crucial for heart health. Lack of sleep disrupts hormonal balance and increases stress levels, which can contribute to cardiovascular issues. 2. Smoking or drinking alcohol. Both habits significantly raise the risk of heart disease. Alcohol, particularly when consumed in excess, can lead to high blood pressure and other complications. 3. Overeating. Large meals, especially those high in fat and calories, burden the digestive system and divert blood flow away from the heart. 4. Intense physical activity before bed. While exercise is essential, rigorous workouts late at night can strain the heart and disrupt sleep patterns. Instead, adopt heart-healthy habits. Maintain a balanced diet rich in fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and lean proteins. Engage in regular, moderate exercise like walking, swimming, or yoga. Manage stress through relaxation techniques such as meditation or deep breathing. Monitor your blood pressure, cholesterol levels, and overall health through regular checkups. A heartfelt reminder. My husband's sudden passing has been a devastating loss, but it has also been a wake-up call. Heart health is not something to take for granted. It's the engine of your life, and taking care of it ensures a longer, healthier journey. Make conscious choices. Eat wisely, sleep soundly, and seek medical help when needed. If you found this story insightful or helpful, please share it with your loved ones. Awareness and education are powerful tools in preventing heart attacks and saving lives. Together, we can make a difference. Thank you for your support and for taking the time to read my story. Red Heart.